Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be part 7 of the Space Firebird. I want to get a little bit done to it tonight. I want to get the marquee in, the speaker, stuff like that. I did test the marquee light because it's kind of torn apart here, and I had taken the cover off of it, but there was a bunch of other things that aren't connected, like the starter here, which is not the right spot, because when this plate goes on, that starter should be over here farther. So I got to see if I can lengthen these wires. And it didn't even have a starter in it. So I put a starter in it. I have this plugged in right now, this power supply, just so that I can test it, and it does work. Now, this is the bulb that came in it. This is just another starter. So this is the bulb that actually came in the cabinet, but since there was no starter, it wasn't obviously lighting up. Now I'm going to use this older bulb because it's a little bit of more of a yellower color than the new bulbs that I have. The new ones are a little bit whiter, and I'm afraid because this marquee is not, it's an original. It's not perfect, and you can see there's scratches and stuff in it. And I just thought with the brighter white bulb behind it, it would make it a little bit worse looking, I guess you should say. I could say, you know what I mean? It would kind of bring out the scratches even more. So it is working. So I can unplug this. I also got the caps for the power supply. These are the 3 different sizes that I didn't have. I actually ordered these on Amazon. They were decent, not horribly priced. I think a 10-pack was like $6 for each size, which I guess is not horrible. But I have all 3 different sizes that I need for the big ones. And then there's some little ones I think that are 10 UF50s, and I have those already. So, oops, I plugged the wrong thing here. Make sure this is unplugged. So I need to see now, I have to leave the bulb out because I have to put 2 screws through here in order to get it into the cabinet. But I need to lengthen these wires. I don't know why it's like it the way it is. There's a zip tie right here. Doesn't really look like people messed with it, so I'm kind of confused as to why it's like that. It's just a black wire. Seeing if I can just leave that zip tie and kind of lengthen this, which I think I just accomplished that. And I think this screw right here, I don't know if that's what held this. I hate when people take shit apart because then you just don't know how it goes. And this is a FSU starter. I also brought an FS2 because I wasn't sure which one it was. It lit with this one, so I'm just going to use this one. But the starter is definitely, oh, there it goes, clicked in. It's got it. I wonder if it's got to have that go through that screw. That would be my guess. Because you want to be able to reach the starter. And these marquees on this are not the easiest to get out. You kind of have to take the screws out of that speaker board and lower it down a little bit. So once I get the marquee in there, if I need to work on the light ever, I want to be able to just do it from the back of the cabinet, so I don't have to worry about trying to get that thing out and possibly scratching it worse than it already is. So I'm pretty confident that I got to loosen up that Phillips and see if I can't put it through that starter bracket. Also, the space dual is down here. I'll show it to you. Coin doors down here. Control panel. Bunch of parts are kind of just scattered all over. Basically, right here I have parts for Kick, Space Firebird, and Space Dual. I don't know if this is how it goes. It just seems like this is how it goes. So once I pop this on, yeah, it's not perfect, but you can get to it. The only other thing I can think of is it spins around and there's a screw that goes through there, which that actually might be it. Maybe we should do that instead. Maybe I should, well, no, because then I can't get the cover off to put the screws in. We're just gonna leave it the way it is. These end caps popped off. I don't know what somebody did to this thing. Beat the crap out of it somehow. This end cap is off. Okay. So now I can unplug this. And also we have the speaker wires here. So we'll be able to plug the speaker in, I believe. Yep, right here. This ground wire goes to the speaker. So let's take this and see how it fits up here. I honestly forget which side the wires came down. I'm actually going to go around back and look. The speakers came down this side, so they must have all come down this side because there's a clip in there for the wiring, which would mean this goes like this. Let's take a look here real quick. Space Duel. I just have it at the bottom of the steps right now. Oh, this is the marquee for kick. I don't know if I showed that to you the other day. I have it upside down because it came in a tube and it's flattening out. But here's the control panel and the coin door for Space Duel. And there it is, just sitting down here at the bottom of the steps right now. I just brought it in yesterday and just left it at the bottom of the steps. So, all right, I'm pretty confident this is going to work once we put those new caps in it. I'm really curious to get that done because I want to see what those caps look like. I could see that they're swollen on the bottom, just can't tell how badly. So now, I'm almost wondering if it used these two Phillips screws, these big fat guys. I got to get they're filled with crushed walnut shells. I wonder if I can start these screws into the wood and then slide the light in because it has those notches in it, in the metal housing. Yes, I'll be able to. That'll make life a lot easier because trying to start them, obviously, through the light socket to where you could barely see up here would be kind of difficult. Now the question is, it looks like there's two different sets of screws. Oh, okay. So one side you can start, but the other You have to do it after it's in place, which kind of sucks. That's not too bad. I got to get something to tighten them with. So I guess I will go find something to tighten that up with. Oh, the rest of the parts for Journey came in today. The artwork and the wiring harness. So that's going to be my next concentration, is I'm going to go and finish that up. That and the kick that's out there. I want to get those two wrapped up. I have those two other games coming this weekend, or Friday. So I want to get the Journey and the other one done, and hopefully that guy buys it like he says. And then I can get that out of my way. All right, so that's in. Speakers next. This speaker does not have a negative and positive marked on it. It'll be fine. I mean, it's not a car stereo. Really don't think it's going to make a difference. I'm going to pop this on real quick. Some of these speakers will have it marked, and I was just going to look in the manual because I have the manual sitting over there to see which one was positive, but speaker grill, and I need those thin, small carriage bolts. If I can find them. What did I do with them? Found one. Looks like I'm going to have to go find more of them. I thought I already had all four out here. Because I know that two were mismatched. They were not correct. Oh, you know what? No, the coin door ones were bigger. All right, let me go find some more. Couldn't find those exact ones, so I got 4 new ones. Rather than having one head a little bit bigger than the other ones, we'll keep them all the same size. These ones are actually Nintendo ones for a Nintendo coin door, but they look good. can see the difference in the size. The Nintendo ones are just a little bit smaller, the head. Let me know what you guys think. You guys want anxious to see the journey get finished up or what? Aha, Nintendo metric. All right, should be a 7mm. Yep. There's another cabinet I might be building. I might be doing a scratch build of a tapper, root beer tapper. Talking to a guy about it today. He's gonna run the bit kit 2 in it, I believe. And he wants the root beer tapper because he didn't have to source to try to find cup holders. I actually have a set of 3D printed cup holders. Got to make sure these are tight with all this mega base this thing's going to put out. Just kidding. Got the ground wire. That's all right. Put it on the front one. All right, that should be tight. Now we can slide the marquee in, and I believe I'm done up there. Let me just double check. Speakers in, light bulbs in, starters in. Yeah, it looks like everything's in. Yeah, it's kind of a loose fit. This is and this is up all the way. I have to shim it. Put something in the groove to shim it up. This is a horrible design. Definitely not fond of that design. But yeah, this is up all the way. It's tight. So, I mean, so is the top. So I'm gonna have to just put something in there and kind of push it in there a little bit. What can I put in there? Let me see what I got. Don't really have much to space it up with. Maybe I could put a zip tie on each side. Lay it in the groove. Can't really think of anything that I have that would really work. It's in there. Wouldn't be easy to get back out, but it's in there. Just didn't want it to like fall forward or anything. All right, so we got that done. So now we could spin the cabinet around, I guess, and start figuring out the boards and stuff like that. So let me get this thing spun around. Okay, this cabinet does not use a cage for the board set. So I have the boards here. And most of the wiring too. So this is most of the wiring. I think I'm missing a few wires, but I'm not positive yet. So this board goes like this in here. And there's these angle brackets I have to put back on, I believe, that hold the board. So these brackets here, and they go on like this. And then there's wing nuts that go in, and I don't know which side goes up and down. I would imagine this side probably goes up. So if this goes like this, it's not wide enough. Close, real close. See, originally there's like a bracket that it went on this side, but that wouldn't make any sense. We're gonna make it work one way or another. And there's a soundboard, which I have to look at some pictures to see where that mounts to. Get a screwdriver. We might just have to just shim these out a little bit. So I guess for the 8th millionth time, I'm gonna go get some washers and some longer screws so we can shim those out. All right, I couldn't find any pictures online, so I'm gonna have to kind of do some investigating. So for some reason, this one was over here originally, and I don't know why. So we're gonna put it on this side. That'll work. And I'll have to get some wing nuts for these. I don't know if I have them or not. I have some wing nuts, but I don't know if it's the right ones. And then I would imagine there was probably something at some point that held the other side of this up, but I don't have anything. I don't know. I do see where there was a bracket mounted down here possibly, which I definitely don't have anything like that. So I'll just leave that like that for now. Then we have this board here, which is the sound board. And that's what makes me think that this side goes up. Unless this soundboard Could this have went underneath this like this? Looking for any sort of holes or something. Power supply goes here. This has to be close because it has a ribbon cable that goes from this to that. You would think there'd be some sort of reference screws or something I could see. That metal box goes here. I wonder if there was like some sort of a tray that this went on to, and it sat underneath. You could tell that this was kind of a universal cabinet because these pieces of wood here have grooves in them, like a board would have slid in there. And then this bracket was added maybe for this kit. I don't know. I mean, let's see here. P4, P3. This is power. That's to the TV. I might just be mounting it underneath if the cables are long enough. Might just get mounted right down there. Let me see here. And there's a video converter board too, which I have over here. Okay, this gets, I believe, 5 volts power. That's the red wire. And then we have this here, which is inverter out, non-invert out, invert out, invert input. That means it comes from here. I'm going to say that this would need to go this way so that this ribbon cable could go to that. And then this is my inverter board for the monitor. Like that. And then this would go, I'm going to have to mount it somewhere. And then there's a cable out. This is all just gotta figure out kind of stuff. I don't even know what the hell that is. This would be that's power. This might not get used, I don't know. Looks like it goes there. The PU1. P1. We do have the manual. I guess we can kind of look at that. This is going to be a bit confusing figuring it out. Wonder if it goes from there to here. Let's see if this thing shows anything. Okay, so this would be P2, and this would be sound. So there's P1, P2, it says is power. Shows it a 9-pin, that can't be the right one. P2. Oh wait, this is the CPU. Where's the video board, control panel, coin mech, speaker, soundboard. So P2 connects to P1. So we're going to kind of plug this in so that I know where everything goes, and then at that point I could mount it. So that's P2, and it goes to P1 on this board, which is, it can't be P, that can't be, it's got to be on this side. It's P5, P1. So that goes to here. Okay. Now, this is cool. It's got like that textured paper. We have a ribbon cable, which I have somewhere. I don't have it right in front of me. Then we have a power, which goes to the power supply, which that probably gonna have to splice into that. I'm not sure yet. So it looks like P6 connects into control panel. So P6 is for control panel. Not sure where that is yet, but this should be power. Interesting. P5, P1 video. So lost right now. It says P1 right there, but right here it says power. P2 is power. P1 for sound. So this must be the video board right here. Okay. So video board, that 10-pin connector is P1, says power, okay, and then it shows it going to P2 power on the other board. So that goes from there to the other side of this board. Doesn't fit. It's too long. Really? Let me look. Could it be not using two of the pins? No, that's not right. I'm not sure on that one yet. I mean, this is definitely looks like power. It's got a fuse and everything. Looks like somebody cut into it though a little bit. What's this? Maybe this is it. What's this? If anybody has one of these games and could send me pictures, that would be great. I wonder if this is the video wire. No. Maybe. Okay, video board. See, none of these colors are matching up. I am not sure. What's this wire? See, all these wires are not the same colors as these. Doesn't mean I can't make them work, but they're not adding up to anything. They're like generic, or these maybe are regular Nintendo plugs from a Nintendo, which would make sense why the wiring's not the right color. See, this is the Sega Gremlin manual. I wonder if it's a little different than the Nintendo manual. Let me do some research here and see if I can't figure out something. Okay, I believe I've gotten it figured out. So basically I have like some harnesses from the Sega version and some from the Nintendo cabinet. So what I've come up with is there's two sets of power wires, okay? This power wire here powers this bottom board, and then the top board's the video board, and that's this other set of power wires here. So I'm gonna have to more than likely make a harness to plug in from here into that power supply. If I can use that power supply, we still might have to use the switcher. I got to look at that still. I have not looked at it yet. But anyway, so that goes to that. This here is the main harness. This goes to the controls. Now, these wire colors here do not match the Nintendo manual, but I have not looked at the the Sega manual, so I want to see if these wire colors match the Sega manual. They're in the right location. The pin locations are correct, but the wire colors are not correct. So, control panel. So let's see here. Yep, so this is the Sega Gremlin harness for the control panel area. So it starts out with number 1 is green, number 2 is brown, and it says number 3 is orange, but and here it's skipped. It's skipped a little bit. Oh wait, let me look here. Okay, I'm looking at it the wrong side. So right here, looking at it on the wrong side. So we have pin number 1 is green, pin number 2 is maroon, brown, must be striped or something. 3 and 4 looks like they're skipped. 5 is white, 6 is orange, then we skipped 7, 8. Number 9 is black. Number 10, 11, and 12 are skipped. Number 13 is violet. Number 14 is light green. Number 15 is white. Okay, so that goes to this, and we'll just have to make them all X plug. Or we might have to cut or take this one off. I'm not sure if I have that style. I think I do. But this goes to the control panel. So this goes to the video board. Or I'm sorry, the soundboard right here. So this plugs into the soundboard. Such a strange way they did this. And then we have this ribbon cable here, and it goes from here to here. Of course it's backwards, so I gotta spin it around. How am I gonna get that on? This, I guess. Twist it. That's kind of dumb. But what do I know? So that goes like that. So that's going to go there. That's going to mount there. Have to get some standoffs. This is going to go up to power. These are both powered. This goes to control panel. I'm guessing this is, I don't know yet what this is. Coin switch, probably. 4-pin coin. So this is for the coin switch. No, that's a 3-pin. I don't know what this is for. What? So that all goes like that. So if I can use that original harness, I'll probably just unplug it here and make another plug end and save this. But I'm gonna look at that switching power supply parts and see. And then we have this here, which is just looking here. Yeah, so the Sega power supply is definitely a little different. So this is what they give you with the switcher. Which, just seeing here, doesn't really line up with, it's not this style plug. This is a switcher for this game, for the Sega version, because this is the exact same pinout that's on the Sega power supply. So we're gonna use the original power supply. We're gonna have to cut these wires and make them work. Basically is how it's gonna go. Just have to make a harness. It is what it is. Just curious on this harness here. What is the deal with this? Why is this all spliced together like it is and capped? Don't know. And this says P1 video. And this side's labeled P10, P5. I have no idea. I don't think there is a P10 on here. Yeah, this could just be an extra harness that, I don't know. I'm looking here. Yeah, there is no P10. This other harness is for, I don't know what it's for. But anyways, going to the power supply here, we need 5 volts positive, 5 volt negative, ground. This is the power supply for this game. It puts out 5 volts positive, -5 ground, AC, and then 12 volts positive and 12 volt negative. So I'm going to look up now and see if those are the exact same power output as the other manual, which is online, that I don't have. Okay, so here's what I come up with. I'm getting a headache. That's what I came up with. No, so this is the harness I need to use going to this video board. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut this up and fix it, which is fine because the power supply is right there. We can cut it right here. So this is all using good voltages as far as +5, -5, ground, 12 volts, all that good stuff. The only thing I am worried about is this other power harness right here is saying that the white wire here, pin 10, is 24 volts. That power supply does not put out 24 volts. If I'm reading it correctly, it's saying this white wire is 24 volts. So, I really don't know what to make of that yet. Everything else, easy peasy. Cut the wires, turn them into that other harness, no big deal. We can cut both of these at the same length about here, save all the rest of that wire because it is Nintendo wiring. But that 24 volt has me a little confused on that, because if that's the case, if I need 24 volts, then I don't know how I'm going to get that. Run a second power supply? I don't know. I need to verify that. Let me look at it for a couple more minutes. Okay, I think the white wire, the 24 volts, is for the coin meter, which I don't give a crap about. So I'm not going to hook that up. So it looks like I'm going to be able to use the original power supply for this, and just not hook up that white wire. So it's just odd because this board was used in this cabinet and in Nintendo cabinets. Okay, so in the US, this board was put into this cabinet. In Japan, or wherever, this board was in a Nintendo cabinet. So they were using a Nintendo power supply. Well, in the US, they were using the Sega Gremlin power supply that came in this cabinet. So they had different sets of wires. Same board sets, different sets of wires. And I think one of the ROMs on the board might have been different, so that the main screen said Sega rather than Nintendo, but I'm not positive about that, but I think that's what I saw. That was a couple days ago. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's what it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one doesn't say Nintendo, which I don't care. I mean, it's not that big a deal. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take these, we're going to splice them, we're going to turn them into the connector that goes into that original power supply over there. And are you helping, Jolene? Yep, good job. So we're going to take these and plug them into there, and we should be good to go. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So basically what I need to do is, actually, I want to look at one more thing. Sorry to keep pausing, but let me look at one more thing here. Okay, between the Nintendo and this, looks like the pinouts are the same. Okay, so if you look here, so on the Nintendo schematics, it's saying, like, we'll just use pin 9 for reference. I'm sorry, pin 8 for reference. Is pink here, okay? Now on the Nintendo manual, it says pin 8 goes to -5 volts. So pin 8 here is pink, and it's coming up, 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 and going to 7, which is -5 volts. So yes, we're gonna make it work. It's gonna work. It's just gonna be a little bit of a hassle, but we get it figured out. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this video here. Just happy that I got this sort of sorted out in my head now. And the next video we'll rebuild the power supply, get that mounted in here, and then we can make the wiring harness connections and all that stuff. And then I got to get a monitor in here, and then we got to figure out that converter board for the monitor, which I'm a little lost on that, because if this is a Nintendo board, we need to change the signal, I believe, because going to a Sanyo monitor, I believe it's different. So that would mean that we need to go to the input here. So it's got to go from this board to the input on here, and then it's got to go to probably the non-invert out. Or no, that would be maybe to the Nintendo one. Maybe it's got to go to the inverted out. If anybody knows, let me know. I mean, I would imagine it's one of the two. I guess worst case scenario, plug it in wrong, and it's just the colors are backwards. So I don't think that's really that big of an issue. So we need to mount this somewhere, because we're using a regular monitor. We're not using a Sanyo EZ20 monitor because I don't have any extra ones to spare. So we are going to be using a regular monitor. So I would imagine we're going to be use the inverted out, I would think, because it's coming in inverted. Or I don't know, whichever, we'll figure it out. And then I got to make sure that that red wire goes to 5 volts. It definitely goes to positive 5 volts. So we'll get this working one way or another. So this, we're gonna have to mount, like I said, I think I'm gonna mount it right here, and then we'll just have to get a cable that goes from here so that I convert it to the plug that will plug into the monitor. So got a little bit of wiring to do. I guess it's not as bad as I originally thought. You know, we got to build a harness for the power, for the control panel, which isn't a big deal. We don't have any coin lights or anything like that in the coin thing, and I don't think I'm going to hook that up right now. I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to see if I can get this game up and running, see if these boards actually in fact work, because once again, nobody's tested them, so I have no idea. And I'll have to see if I have, I wonder if these are probably the correct ones. I should have more of these. Yep, so that'll work. I have those. So we'll be able to just put this in here like this. We're just going to leave that bottom as is. I think once this is tightened, that'll be fine. And then down here, I'm going to get some standoffs and mount that sound board to that piece of particle board down there. Hold on, this is kind of jammed up here. Okay, so yeah, I'll get a couple standoffs and I'll just put it right here. I'll just mount it right there. Wires are perfect length and everything. Sound pot will be right here, so we can just adjust the sound with the back door open. So all right, well, that's going to end part 7. I feel a little bit less confused now. It's just tough because you're going from one color to another. So, but like I said, I have the pinout in that book for that power supply, and I have the pinout online for those wires for this. So we'll just have to make it. It'll be fairly easy. Like I said, we just got to make this 10-pin connector here. These ones, I don't know what these ones are for. I have to look in the manual. I know that this goes to the monitor, or to the marquee light, and this goes to the monitor, power and ground for the monitor. So that's pretty much it, guys. So I think, let me set up here on the, we'll just look at the front. Heck with it. So that's going to end part 7. It's getting there. Slowly figuring it out. It's going to be pretty damn cool when it's done, I think. So thanks for watching, guys. Once again, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up. If anybody has any input on this, that'd be great. I always love to hear other people's input, because you never know. I might not be thinking of everything correctly. A couple people had mentioned and said that this control panel is a little on the redder side, and I do agree with that. I think it is supposed to be more of a browner tone. Where did I put the screen bezel artwork? I'm trying to think where I put the screen bezel. What's up, Abby? Because I want to kind of compare that. Yeah, I'm not done yet. Yeah, the screen bezel is brown to match that. But like I said, this is the only file we could get off a line. I wonder, I don't know if I can change that color or not. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave it for now. Worst case scenario, if I find one in the future, I find one. It is what it is. But yeah, these are, I actually have 2 of these. I never made it over the weekend to get the board to make the monitor surround yet. I was going to Jason's house and I just did not have time to stop at Hobby Lobby. So, all right, guys, that's going to end part 7. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.